Well, hello everyone. Today, I'm Tony Mills of Energetic Wisdom. Today I'm going to talk about blood pressure and the related emotions, which are very important with blood pressure, believe you me. If you think of blood as our life force, the elixir of life, it represents joy. Okay. And how it can be, it's measured in hospitals. One drop can say so much, or if you can douse it and you can get so much information from one drop of blood. And what we've got with blood pressure is the kind of opposing forces. It's the flow of blood against the pressure from the resistance from the walls of the blood vessels. So this can then build up. But I'm going to start I'll begin with low blood pressure. Now, low pressure is withdrawing. It's a withdrawal. Okay, it's there's no attempt to stand up to any resistance. Okay, there's a declining of resistance in life. An example of that is when the pressure gets too much, or there's a very embarrassing situation, one faints. Okay, to faint is actually an escape of something that cannot be faced. You know, when some people, when they see a certain scene, they faint. And it's just an embarrassing situation can actually do that because they just don't want to face it. If you think of anemia, which is lack of iron, there's a refusal of taking on cosmic energy. There's opposites of iron. You think of iron will, okay? So it's lack of iron. So an iron will is the opposite, right? So it's just not got that power and strength in anemia. And the point is this: what will help, of course, because there's that withdrawal and escape. They don't have the energy. Very often pale, because the color of the blood isn't flowing through the body, as opposed to someone with high blood pressure, which is very red-faced very often. So you've got these, you can be, so what do you do? Right, do exercise, have massage, which really helps, okay? However, when that stops, then you're back to that same situation. And this is where the feeling is so important. By addressing the feeling, then there is a possibility of things changing. And so that the courage starts coming through and the power starts coming through and things begin to change. Opposite to that is high blood pressure. And it's not just through exertion that you get high blood pressure. Thinking alone is enough for high blood pressure. And it's not just, we all have thoughts, we have good thoughts, we have bad thoughts. It's the constant with anything, and not talking about just blood pressure. It's constant worry, constant fear, and constant anger that begins the debilitating system that breaks us down and appears physically. It's the constancy. We all get different feelings, different negative feelings, but very often these are temporary. And so with that, there's a constant pressure and also it's not being able to release that pressure. It goes back to there's a lot of kind of common connections here with men and women. If we see ourselves as a pressure cooker, okay, so all these sayings like I had to put a lid on it, okay, and I ended up under pressure, and I couldn't let the steam off. Okay, think of all that. This is literally what's happening to the body. You've had to put it, you won't say it, okay? And this goes back to men who are not so communicative as women, okay? But still feel under pressure, and it's that constant pressure that's affecting us. But letting off steam is actually expressing. If we had a conversation where you're getting really annoyed, it's getting very close to your discomfort zone, unless that is released by saying something, then it becomes a problem, okay? So going back to how people look, very often if you see a very red-faced person, it's usually there'll be some blood pressure there. Or someone very, very pale, there may be a lack of be low blood pressure. Okay. Now there's one odd case where someone who goes white with rage. Okay. And so the blood drains out of the face completely. So they withdraw all the joy. This is a temporary thing. Okay. But it's very debilitating, that one, when there's that going white with rage. The other thing with the male and female situation is that sexually, men are there for action, and the women to surrender. So see how that applies to high blood pressure and low blood pressure. Okay. So these feelings are so important for us, and this is what I deal with actually, because I can discover what these feelings are, and by working with a person, I can help them release these feelings and bring back their own power, which they originally were designed to have. So I don't call myself a healer. I call myself an empowerer, because I give back the person the power to heal themselves. When you've got think of power. If the power, it doesn't come from anyone else, anything or anywhere else, but when your power returns, just think how that feels. Okay. And one of the powers, you think, well, with men, this is power, strength, and all that, but it's more powerful to express what you feel. This is an honesty, an honesty which is difficult for men. I do realize that, and that's why you get that high blood pressure. You do have things like situations, seeing it's the blood, and I'm just going to bring this in as well, is that evidently men had more prone to heart attacks than women, but that changed after the menopause, because women lost blood every month. Okay, so they were releasing that pressure naturally until after the menopause. Then it balanced out. Okay, so this is just interesting, that point, how blood relates to joy, and it's very interesting, really. It's how that works. So I mean, when I've given blood, I remember when I used to give blood, I used to feel great. Okay, and that was a sign that it was releasing some pressure. Okay, and perhaps too much iron. You see, this is another thing with iron. You can have too much iron, and that's harmful for the heart. And so that's why many men, especially, feel better after giving blood. Okay, so this is quite brief, really, but if you visit my website, energetic-wisdom.co.uk, you can get all information on this. I work with people one-to-one. I work also by Zoom, by video, as if I'm working with you here, there. I also work another one with distance, with photographs. So I can actually pick up the photograph and I can work energetically, and the big changes happen. I've had quite some amazing results with that. So if you want any more, just come back to me and look at my website, and I can very often help with these things and take the pressure off you. Or if you're if you don't have that energy, perhaps to help you with some energy, okay, to try and bring some balance into your life. And that's what I'm here for. So thank you all for coming and popping in to see me there. Really nice. So all the best to you all. Lots of love. Okay, bye now. Bye.